Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're taking a deep dive into the world of elite volleyball. We're going to break down what it is that truly separates a good player from a genuinely complete and dominant athlete.
So let's just get right to it with the big question. You see so many incredible athletes out there on the court, right? But what's that invisible line that separates the really good ones from the truly elite? What's the secret sauce? You know, it's easy to think it's all about that massive, thunderous spike. Or maybe a dig that just defies physics. And yeah, those highlight reel plays are awesome, but they're honestly just one small piece of a way bigger puzzle. The real answer goes so much deeper than that. The truth? Elite performance isn't born from just one skill. It's really about a disciplined, all-in commitment to building a complete athlete, someone who is just as strong between the ears as they are on the court. It's a full-time mindset, not just a part-time hobby. So to really get a handle on this, we're going to frame this explainer around three key pillars. First, we've got the foundation. That's all about mastering your craft. Then there's the framework, being the ultimate teammate. And finally, the engine that powers the whole thing, forging mental resilience. All right, let's dig in. So our first pillar is all about you, the individual. This is the work you put in when the stands are empty and the coaches have gone home. It's all about taking total ownership of your personal growth and building an absolutely unshakable foundation of skill. And that whole foundation, it really starts with this powerful idea from Dr. Darren Cannell. Think about it. Success feels good, but it doesn't teach you nearly as much as failure does. Every single shanked pass, every missed serve, it's not a loss, it's a lesson. You either win or you learn. It's that simple.
And this brings us to a really core philosophy. The toughest opponent you will ever face is the person staring back at you in the mirror, the person you were yesterday. Elite athletes, they aren't totally obsessed with beating other people. They're obsessed with tiny, daily improvements. The goal is simple, but it's profound. Just be a little better tomorrow. So how do you actually compete with yourself? Well, here's a real actionable blueprint. First off, set SMART goals. Don't just say, I want to get better. No, say, I'm going to make 50 quality passes against the wall every single day. See the difference? Second, visualize. Before you even touch a ball, see yourself executing that perfect float serve. Mental practice is a massive part of the game. And third, be a student of the game. Get online, watch the pros, and break down their technique to build your own volleyball IQ. And this gets to the very heart of all that work. You've probably heard practice makes perfect, but that's not quite right. Practice makes permanent. Your brain doesn't care if a rep is good or bad, it just locks it in. So it's the intention and the focus you bring to every single touch of the ball that forges truly excellent skills. Okay, let's move on to our second pillar and see how this all connects. Individual skill is the foundation, sure, but volleyball is the ultimate team sport. An athlete's true worth is really measured by how they make the entire group better. This is about building the framework for team success. And this brings up a super important distinction in your mindset. Are you trying to be the best on the team or the best for the team? The first one, that's chasing personal stats, personal glory, and that can actually create drama and division. The second one, being the best for your team, is all about making everyone around you better. And that is what builds the kind of trust that wins championships. Now, being the best for the team isn't just talk. It comes down to real, tangible actions. It means being that positive voice on the court, always communicating and cheering for others. It's taking accountability for the little things, like setting up the nets without being asked. It's celebrating a teammate's killer spike like it was your own, and picking them up when they're down. I mean, the legend Karch Kiraly puts it perfectly. On the beach, there's nowhere to hide. You have to touch pretty much every other ball. He said that being forced to make his partner better, in turn, made him a much better all-around player. This is proof that making your team better directly makes you better too. And building this incredible team spirit doesn't always take some big, grand gesture. You'd be surprised. Sometimes the smallest acts of kindness and encouragement are what create the most powerful bonds and a really positive team culture. Here's a fantastic real-world example of that. Some teams create these little encouragement pins. They just clip them onto their teammates' bags or even their opponents' bags with small positive messages. It's a simple, super creative way to build sportsmanship and a supportive vibe that just fuels the whole team.
Okay, so we've got individual skill and we've got teamwork. But what powers it all, especially when the pressure is on? Let's get to our third and final pillar, forging mental resilience. This right here is the internal engine that drives everything else.
Karch Kiraly said this later in his career, and wow, is it powerful. He knew his physical gifts were changing, but he relished the challenge of making up for it with his mental game. This just goes to show you that mental strength isn't some add-on. It can be your primary weapon on the court. So what's actually in this mental toolkit? Well, first, it's the ability to bounce back from a mistake instantly. Next point, that's all that matters. Second, it's a laser focus on what you can control, like your effort and your attitude, and completely ignoring what you can't, like a bad call or the noise from the crowd. And using tools like journaling and visualization helps you build that mental armor over time. And this leads us to probably one of the hardest parts of being an athlete. The pressure isn't just in the game itself. What about that crushing feeling of a tough loss? Or maybe even worse, not making a team you worked your tail off for?
The answer is you have to reframe it. A tough loss is not the end of the road. It's just a data point. It's fuel for the fire. Remember what we said earlier? You either win or you learn. When you truly adopt that mindset, every single failure becomes the launch pad for your next success.
All right, let's bring this all home. We've talked about mastering your craft, being an amazing teammate, and building mental toughness. Now let's see how these three pillars lock together to form the complete athlete. So here's the core message, all in one picture. True elite performance isn't like 80% skill and 20% other stuff. As you can see, it's a balance. It demands an equal, dedicated commitment to your individual craft, your role on the team, and your mental game. Each pillar holds the others up. And that really is the main takeaway here. You simply cannot be a one-dimensional player and expect to reach the highest levels of the sport. True, lasting excellence is found in the disciplined, daily integration of all three of these areas. It has to be the complete package. And we'll leave you with this killer quote from the legendary coach Bobby Knight. The will to win? Almost everybody has that. That's the easy part. The real separator, the thing that defines an elite athlete, is having the will to do the hard, unglamorous, consistent work it takes to prepare to win. That is the path.